I'd like to welcome everybody to the second in a series of interviews called Double Trouble. The first was with Terry Keplinger. And today, I'm Dr. BLT, by the way, and this is Dr. BLT's Double Trouble interview. And today we're with Jerry Rothberg, a friend of mine, and he's extremely talented, and we're just very fortunate to have him in this community. So, hello, Jerry.
All right. Nice to
We
meet
just
you.
did the duet. This is a duet interview series, so we just recorded a duet, and we'll get back to that in a moment. But let's start by just having me ask you, how did you get started in music?
That's a great question, but before I do, I want to say it's good to be on the Double Trouble interview because I have a double chin. See? So this is what I'd look like if I didn't have a double chin. It would be more like this. See?
But you know what? It's a fake double chin, everybody. He wants you to
There
think
it is.
it's fake.
There
It's
it
for he's preparing it for a movie part.
There you go.
So.
Anyway, this is the result of an unnamed fast food fried chicken that I had yesterday. I gained 5 pounds, but that's all right. You know, it's the battle of the bulge. Anyway, back to where I got into music. When I was a little bit thinner and about 4 years old, maybe 3, I listened to Blue Suede Shoes. And it was probably the Elvis version. Well, it's a 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now, go cat go, but don't you.
Okay.
And then et cetera, et cetera. And then I used to do this at parties. And then I also did He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, which goes
I
with
love that song. It's
with
like
your
an old
Mennonite,
spiritual. Yeah.
your Mennonite background. And you can see we have a very classically dressed man on a beautiful Sunday showing his respect for his beliefs. And that's one.
And I believe in you, Jerry.
Thank you. I believe in you. Okay, anyway, so let's back to that. So yeah, I was listening to Elvis and the Everly Brothers. We used to listen to them, and I was raised on rock and roll, and I got into my first band back in the 60s. About 65, we did 66, we did I'm Not Your Stepping Stone by the Monkees, In the Midnight Hour, the Rascals version probably, and then the other one was I Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore by the Young Rascals. And I've been in bands. I've been a lead singer for years, and then I learned, kind of transitioned into being a saxophone player. And I've been playing the saxophone since the 60s. I have my original buffet saxophone, tenor sax, but I love music, and I'm currently playing in a band called Blue Mirror with an outstanding singer. Everybody's got over 40 years of experience playing music, and so that's how I got into it, and that's where I am.
Well, what would you say some of your influences are?
Oh God, I like really the early ones would have been the classic rock, Hendrix, Cream, Zeppelin, Doors, and then that was mainly what we sang, and then getting into Johnny Winter and a lot of horn. The big thing was the Paul Butterfield and the Butterfield Blues Band when he added his horns. It made me want to do songs with a horn section, and I kind of became a one-man horn section. But
And you and I have been in the studio together.
and Dr. BLT's given me a vehicle to record, other songs, doing different versions, original songs. We started off doing some political stuff, and I wasn't totally behind some of the messages, but I was into the creativity of
And
it.
I've since strayed from that message considerably.
But
We changed throughout the years.
But it was really interesting to do a psychological analysis of Michael Moore when we did Fahrenheit 9/11, HYPE, and then that was shortly followed by
Right Wingers Need Love Too.
Right Wingers Need Love Too was played at the National in Washington at the Young Republicans.
Yeah.
Where was that? It was
It
somewhere.
was at the rally, the Hillary Clinton rallies.
That was way back.
Yeah, and Andrew Sullivan did a review of it. He's now writing front page articles for Time magazine. So.
And then that song got airplay on Dick Morris, like nationwide. We were played. So
That was on the Rusty Humphreys show.
Rusty Humphreys,
Yeah,
that's
Rusty
right.
Humphreys.
Yeah.
But
Dick Morris,
and
yeah.
more recently, we just wrote a song. We've got to wrap this up because YouTube will cut us off after a certain point.
Yeah.
But We just wrote a song called "Half the Beatles Heard My Name." We co-wrote it just before, and we recorded it already. But tell me about tell the audience a little bit about the origins of that song.
Okay, well, years ago, I was with a friend of mine, my girlfriend's friend, and she said, "See that guy over there? That's Bud Cort." I go, "Who's Bud Cort?" She said, "That's the guy from Harold and Maude," and that was one of my favorite movies. So I ended up becoming friends with him. I did a musical arrangement for one of his songs, and he came to see my band back in West LA at a place called the Asian Blend back in the maybe mid-'70s. Anyway, he came to see the band, and then he was personal friends with all the Beatles. And one day he was hanging out with George Harrison and Ringo Starr on the Strip, and they went into the Imperial Gardens, a really nice restaurant right against the hill. And Bud asked Glenn Nishida, who was my guitar player, and he said, "Where's Jerry?" Because the band was there, but I wasn't with him. And I had moved up to Fargo, North Dakota, to go up there and work with my brother, who's also a musician. So that's the story. That's it.
Okay, well, you heard it. Everybody give a big hand, a round of applause for Mr. Jerry Rothberg.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.